Be careful, the shadow arms are reaching out to pull you to the other side.
اللهم صل على محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حجي حجي حج حج حجي. بسم الله.
Number 15. Number 14.
اللهم صل على محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حجي حجي حج حج حجي. بسم الله.
Number 13.
On the Arabic YouTube channel Adventurer's Story, two explorers set out late at night to investigate an abandoned house said to be infested with jinn spirits. The place is in ruins, with shattered walls and destroyed furniture. As they searched the property, their flashlights caught a shadowy figure running toward the stairs. Unsure if it was a person or a jinn, they chased after it.
أنت شفتها؟
شفتها. في أحد؟
في أحد؟
في أحد؟
امسكها امسكها امسكها.
في أحد؟
شفت أحد شفت أحد. تعال تعال. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
شفت أحد؟ في أحد؟ في أحد؟
وين اختفى ملعون الجذف؟ تبي أنا خوف يكون أكثر.
They ran upstairs, opening every door and checking each room, but the figure was nowhere to be found. It was as if the jinn had vanished into thin air. Despite how terrifying the moment was, the two explorers decided to keep investigating the house. The origin of this video is unknown, but it appears to feature an Arabic ghost hunter exploring an abandoned location. The footage has circulated online for quite some time, showing a chilling encounter with what many believe to be a jinn, or perhaps something even more otherworldly.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
طب وينك؟ وين رحت؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هيو السناب صار يعلق. شو انت وراي؟ كم من واحد فيه هون؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. الدخان.
Moments later, the jinn appears, dressed entirely in black, its form shifting in the darkness, with no shadow beneath it. A low, guttural growl fills the air as thick smoke begins to rise from the ground, seemingly from nowhere. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the figure vanishes into thin air. The ghost hunter continues recording for only a few minutes before sprinting out of the abandoned building in terror. An Arabic ghost hunter is exploring an old house in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which is said to be haunted by jinn. He doesn't usually investigate ghost videos, but something about this house caught his attention. As he moves through the building, he hears knocks and doors banging. The activity makes it clear that this is not an ordinary abandoned house, and many believe a jinn might be present.
الله أكبر. الله. هذا مكان مسلمين، أنتم مش جايبكم هنا. أنا متحصن بذكر الله عز وجل، ولن يضرني إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لي. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله. أعوذ بالله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم، لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم، له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه. بسم الله. من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه، ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم، ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء، وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. بسم الله. الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله.
He explores the house for a short time, but it quickly becomes clear he's not welcome. Doors keep banging in front of him, and at one point, a vase is thrown and shatters on the floor. The ghost hunter realizes that something inside the house doesn't want him there. The origin of this video is unknown, but it features an Arabic ghost hunter exploring an abandoned location. The footage has been circulating online for some time and shows a chilling encounter with what many believe to be a jinn, or another unworldly presence.
شو هذا؟ شو هذا؟ شو اللي بيصير جوا؟ شو اللي بيصير هون؟ مش عارف. بسم الله. بسم الله.
The jinn suddenly disappears, leaving only its clothes behind. A moment later, a loud bang comes from somewhere in the house, showing that it doesn't like being followed. The ghost hunter realizes that something inside the house wants him to leave. Hassan Barbar, known on YouTube for his terrifying explorations of houses said to be infested with jinn, is investigating an abandoned home. As he moves down a dark hallway, he spots a figure that looks like a jinn, sending chills down his spine. This house proves especially dangerous. Hassan experiences two very frightening encounters that make it clear the spirits here are not welcoming.
Number 12.
Okay, so in this part, we know this is where me and my cousin were doing the night shift. We heard the strange noise. We are in Lebanon. Don't see. Okay, we're in Kara, Lebanon. patient, so that is the only thing that will help us. Okay? Sorry, we cannot say our names for protection reasons. And privacy reasons. Yeah, thank you for that. Guys. According to the recordings, you guys could clearly hear bomb sounds. And yeah, these are bombs we heard, and God, just to clarify, when I was there, and you could hear a weird something in the sky. When I was there, I saw a weird creature that was going about and tried to staring at us. And yeah, this is why my cousin ran up to the top of the fence. So these recordings are quite scary, but why this is real, and you might not really see our faces, but yeah, this is all about our recordings. And also we made a lot more that I'll show.
Number 11.
Now we're back. We're outside. Okay, investigate this.
That's creepy. We'll take a picture. Does that look like liminal space? It is liminal space. We're documenting this. We're literally living in a liminal space world. I don't know if I'm in a dream or in real life. For real, honestly. This place feels haunting, and this place feels haunting. Enter it, I'll go behind you. Enter it, I'll go behind you. Go. Come on, I'll go slow. Go behind you. You go back. I don't feel safe in here. Yeah. Go for a moment of relief. This place is crazy. This whole place feels like an analog horror right now. You never ended the song, but the horror is still present, and in here it's safer than in our room. And this. Let's see, let's go. We have got in here for a couple of while. Go down. See there, it has the eyes. Where? That's its head. I can see them outlying. It's a spider. I'm starting to actually avoid it. Let's take a live stream now. How much more until we end it? Like 30. 30 minutes? Yeah. Just the process. What do we get? We get supplies. Basically scavengers now. Oh, what is there? So we have some stuff like that. Nothing. Oh. This is the outside. Right there. Imagine we have people outside at the storm to do the buttons. Here. What the So me and my cousin, we were doing our night shift, and then we went to explore the house. And then at one of the last recordings, we could hear the rattling sound. Then we basically lost he finished to not in the so yeah. And that was also my house in the village, so decided to record, so I could get stuff, and then yeah, that's all of the stuff. Bye.
Number 10. Luis checks the mail. Luis Comacho is getting his mail one sunny day when he suddenly stops and looks around. It's hard to describe, but somehow his surroundings feel different and mysterious. He soon locates the source of his bad feeling. After getting onto his hands and knees and peering into the sewer grate, this is what he sees down a long tunnel. A giant alligator looks back at him, its mouth wide open. It lets out a ferocious hiss as a warning sign not to come any closer. The two of them hold eye contact, and then Luis quickly backs away to call the authorities. The alligator was removed shortly thereafter, but Luis will never forget how close he came to having to fight for his survival. It would have been a struggle that he probably would not have won. One more thing, look closely at the tape. And you'll see a small green ball resting by the alligator. I can't help but wonder if, moments before this recording, a small child or dog went to retrieve the ball and saw the same thing that Luis did. Number 9.
رحيم لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله بسم الله لا لا لا, لا.
Number 8.
Hassan Barbar, known on YouTube for his terrifying explorations of houses said to be infested with jinn, is investigating an abandoned home. As he moves down a dark hallway, he spots a figure that looks like a jinn, sending chills down his spine. This house proves especially dangerous. Hassan experiences 2 very frightening encounters that make it clear the spirits here are not welcoming.
خلاص خليني احط التلفون سايلنت انا اسف بسم الله حطيته سايلنت لمسني لما رن طب انت مين طب مين انت بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. شو نعمل هون؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله. لا 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 لا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. طب تعال 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 تعال.
Hassan Barbar slowly approaches the jinn, calling out as he moves down the hallway. The jinn responds by banging on a nearby door, but does not answer. When Hassan gets close enough to see it clearly, the jinn suddenly disappears, leaving no trace behind. Later in the video, Hassan Barbar has another terrifying encounter. As he's making his way out of the house, something horrifying happens, nearly putting him in serious danger. It becomes clear that the jinn is not happy about his presence, and the spirit seems determined to make him leave.
فعل مش قادر. في حد؟ في حد هون؟ بدي اقعد على الدرج هون شوي. بدي اطلع. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء. راح انهي المؤامرة اليوم. راسي كثير موجعني يا اخوان. بسم الله الرحمن. بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. اخوان في شي شدني ورموا الباب علي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. شو ما تعملوا بتظلوا ضعاف. الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. بسم الله. لا يا إخوان خلينا نروح. خلينا.
On his way out of the house, Hassan Barbar hears a loud bang from behind him. He quickly drops the camera to the ground to avoid a door being thrown down the stairs after him. Shaken, he can be heard praying and condemning the jinn as the danger grows closer. After this terrifying encounter, he runs out of the house as fast as he can, vowing never to return.
Number 7. Leviathan hears a giant. A YouTuber named Leviathan is on a hiking trip when he hears strange noises in the distance. Just when he seriously suspects that he's not alone in the woods, a series of large footprints confirms his suspicions. He now fears for his safety and has already decided to leave when he hears the same noises again, much closer now than before. The predatory call encourages him to make a quick retreat back to civilization. Leviathan still has no idea what was making this noise or exactly how large it was. Number 6.
The middle of the night in December, and a monstrous tornado is heading straight for the Mississippi River. Douglas Lewis, a crewmate aboard a tugboat in the river, receives an alert on his phone. There's a tornado heading straight for him. Stranded on the boat, he does the only thing he can do and begins to video the dark mass approaching him. Soon, he runs to the bottom floor before the boat is swallowed by the winds. December has arrived in the United States. In Monette, Arkansas, the temperature peaks at a chilly 45 degrees Fahrenheit, suggesting a typical winter season in the upcoming days. But this is far from what weather forecasters see. Meteorologists at the Storm Prediction Center have noted an unusual characteristic in the atmosphere. The temperature was expected to be unusually warm in the coming days. Moist air, combined with strong winds through levels of the atmosphere, allows for possible thunderstorms throughout the Mid-South on December 10th. As the day draws closer, forecasters begin to get a clearer picture from weather models of what is about to unfold, and it's incredibly strange. What they're now seeing is a weather pattern that could potentially become a tornado outbreak, and so they begin to issue warnings for the public. But for many in the area, there are few signs that anything is about to happen. It just seemed like an unusually warm day was approaching. December 10th. It wasn't until the sun had begun to set that the first storm forms. Developing over Little Rock, Arkansas at 4 p.m., it needs time to organize. The elongated structure signals that it's ready to spin and become a supercell, and it continues to build its strength until it's ready to unleash its fury. At 5:50 p.m., meteorologists observing radar note strong rotation in the storm, prompting them to issue the first tornado warning. At 6:40 p.m., the storm produces its first weak tornado of many just south of Jonesboro, Arkansas. Although very short-lived, it wouldn't be long until it produced another tornado, and then another at the same time. These twin tornadoes were unfortunately not the most prolific thing the storm would come up with. A couple dozen miles to the northeast where the storm was moving, environmental conditions such as CAPE, or the available energy in the atmosphere, in the shear, or the spin in the atmosphere, was conducive for extreme tornadoes, and this is right where the supercell was going. Unfortunately, it was the next tornado that would land the storm in the history books. At 7:07 p.m., a funnel descends just north of the town of Bay, Arkansas. The tornado is weak at first, partially destroys a farm building as it crosses into Lake City, Arkansas, and continues to race to the northeast. Hunter Fike is at his parents' shop. What he sees seems to be an almost tiny string tearing up the ground in front of him. Nearby, Josh Taylor continues where Hunter left off. The tornado now has an apparent stovepipe shape, much thicker than previously.
Oh, there's definitely a tornado on the ground. It's definitely on the ground. Oh yeah, it's big.
Only a couple minutes after Hunter's video was shot, the tornado clearly has a lot of energy and it's growing rapidly.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Oh yeah.
In the town of Monette, few people are aware of the impending danger heading straight for them. One of these oblivious areas is the nursing home, which is now sitting directly in the path. At 7:20 p.m., a phone call is received by employees at the nursing home. The owner, Rick Sampson, calls in a panic, stating a tornado was on the way and that everyone needed to get to a safe space immediately. Nurse Barbara Richards glances out of the door and sees a dark mass beelining straight for her. She ducks down and yells for everyone to cover up. Before she can even complete her sentence, the winds explode and the roof and walls collapse. As soon as the winds arrive, however, they stop. Immediately, sirens from emergency services can be heard driving down the road, and as EMS crews evacuate the structure, they find the body of Golden West Pembry, the first death attributed to the tornado. There is little reprieve before the next town is subjected to the tornado's increasing power. The town of Leachville now only has 5 minutes before it too is struck. On the north side of town, a dollar store is still open. June Pennington, the store's assistant manager, and another, much younger employee, watch the tornado approach. Seeing the dark gray clouds, they rush into the store's bathroom. As the winds whip around the building, the anchored steel frame is warped and twisted out of its foundation, leading to the collapse of most of the structure. Pennington lies on top of her coworker to protect them as the wall caves in on top of them. In the chaos, June Pennington passes away, miraculously saving the life of her young coworker. Teenager Kelsey is filming from back in Truman, where the tornado initially touched down, but due to the flat farmland, the large wedge tornado is still visible. Near the dollar store, several other warehouses and residential homes suffer extreme damage, with some well-built structures flattened. One of the warehouses is a large cotton gin. As the vortex crosses over, thousands of pounds of cotton bales are shredded, a relatively strange sight. The tornado is clearly still intensifying. It's now crossing the Arkansas-Missouri border, and more towns are in the firing line, with the tornado heading straight toward the town of Hornersville. Lines of trees now are shredded by the winds. They lose their bark and their branches until they're basically reduced to not much more than large toothpicks. This tree damage is unbelievably violent. Fortunately, the storm sweeps just south of Hornersville, sparing many homes and lives from destruction, but other people wouldn't be as lucky. Storm chaser Max Olson is now approaching from the north, taking note of the very strong radar signature now present on the tornado. Taking exit 14 to the east, he sees the beast in the distance, now approaching the town of Braggadocio.
I've been able to see something there. It's insane positive CGs.
Based on the radar trajectory at that time, it looked like the tornado was probably going to go pretty much right to where I was at or just a little bit north, and I was just straining my eyes on the horizon as CGs were just raining down around me. And then finally there was this moment where I saw this giant power flash.
Oh, what was that? Oh, I think I see it. Yep, that's it. Power flash just observed. Yeah, I can see it off in the distance. It's a big stovepipe, maybe wedge.
In the town, only a handful of residents are even aware of the approaching monster. The tornado continues to grow in strength, however, shredding massive metal transmission towers until they collapse, whilst several homes are reduced to no more than piles of debris. The winds in the tornado continue to rise as the tornado closes in on the homestead of the Rackley family. The Rackleys had moved to the home just a week prior. Mom, Megan, a teacher, identified the safest possible place in the home, the center bathroom with no windows. While watching the news, they decided to heed the tornado warning and went into their safe place. The storm is 15 minutes away, and the family poses for a photo. The close-knit siblings, Aniston, age 9, Ava Lynn, 7, and Lainey, only 3, smile. Aniston clutches her favorite baby doll as she lies in the bathtub. Everything the family was doing was correct, but unfortunately, this is not always enough. The dad, Trey Rackley, begins to hear the sound of winds accelerating around the home. Loud banging begins to echo as debris spews across the home from the neighboring towns. Soon, the banging turns to screeching as metal and wood is ripped and shredded. The tornado is about to make a direct hit on the Rackley family home. Max Olson is still watching the beast draw closer. As the Rackley Street is crossed, a power flash, indicative of power lines being destroyed, illuminates the vortex. The Rackleys' home, unfortunately, cannot resist the strength of the tornado. The home is shredded by the winds and then swept down to its bare foundation. Debris is granulated and tossed across open fields nearby. The Rackleys are launched along with the debris into a nearby field. Unfortunately, the oldest daughter, Aniston, is unable to withstand her injuries and passes away. Aniston was described as a bright light. She loved swimming, dancing, and cheerleading. Across the road, a second home is swept away. Fortunately, no one is home when it struck, but the damage here could be even stronger than at the Rackley's home. The tornado is actually the strongest it's ever been and begins to carve spirals into the ground, showing the vortex behavior itself. Max begins to book it north as the now mind-blowing wedge tornado crosses the interstate. Its eyes are directly on Hayti, Missouri.
Not a good situation. It's moving right into town here. 80.
I slowly just inched my way north towards the town of Hayti as this tornado was marching towards the interstate.
Dude, chill out right here. That guy needs to not go any further forward. Alright, it's crossing in front of me. Yes, I know. Alright, it's crossing in front of me.
Two other storm chasers, Brad Arnold and Nick Gorman, are up ahead of Max and film the tornado as it crosses the interstate.
Go backwards now. I can go backwards up the ramp. Oh, you're good. It's right there in front of us. It should cross right here. Yep, it is. Yeah, I saw a power flash. It's right there. Yeah. Right there. Tornado crossing I-55. Right there. Got it. Right there. Got it.
Unfortunately, they are also catching the next tragedy on film. Just to the east, truck driver George Martin is unknowingly driving into the path of the tornado. As the winds begin to sweep across Interstate 55, Martin's truck is swept off the road, critically injuring him. He would die a week later. Only a couple miles to the east, neither 28-year-old Mark Travis nor his girlfriend Leanne know that they are driving directly into the path of the tornado. As they drive down Highway 84, the heavy rain and darkness completely obscures the tornado from view, meaning they are only alerted to the danger when violent winds suddenly sweep across the road. A utility pole is suddenly thrown down in front of them, leaving no time to slow down, resulting in a high-speed collision. In the crash, Leanne is extremely injured, and Mark is unfortunately fatally injured. Max, now crossing the tornado's path, comes face to face with the reality of what's happening as he finds multiple semi-trucks flipped with several injuries.
Another semi. Oh, God. God damn it.
Right here. That's cable barrier. It's just cable barrier. He's crawling out. Wait. Here. Hey! Get in! Get inside! Right here? Huh? You want to get in here? Here, I'll have to see if it's okay. Hey! Get in!
To the west of I-55, the violence of winds gouges even more swirling cycloidal marks into the nearby fields. The path these patterns take show how the tornado narrowly misses Hayti to the south, approaching the Mississippi River north of Crothersville. Factory lights from a warehouse along the riverbank illuminate the wedge, briefly displaying its violent motion as Max frantically zooms tighter.
It was around this time that the tornado was approaching the Mississippi River, and this is when that large light was able to illuminate the funnel to where you could truly see the violent motion. As if it already wasn't prevalent enough before with the continuous lightning, now it was just so vivid. You could very clearly see how intense this thing was, and it was just churning its way off in the distance.
Melissa Copeland and her husband see the tornado in the distance from across the river and begin a Facebook Live to alert neighbors and family of what they're seeing in the distance.
He said it's going north. I don't know if y'all can see that on video, but we were heading back home from being at someone's house for shelter, and we seen the tornado. There was a bunch of people parked at the overpass, and then there was another funnel cloud forming as well. This is towards Crothersville around Great River Road.
There's another one.
I don't know if y'all can see this or not when the lightning strikes.
The tornado is still obscenely violent. Douglas Lewis, a crewmate aboard a tugboat on the Mississippi, notices a dark mass approaching. Simultaneously, the emergency alert system blares that a tornado emergency, the rarest tornado warning possible, has been issued, and those in the path need to take immediate shelter. However, there is virtually no shelter on a boat stranded in the Mississippi River. With no other option, Douglas just films the wall of death approaching them.
It's supposed to cross the river right here where we're at. I think that's it. So we got a front row seat, that's for damn sure. By the river.
As it draws closer, he ducks below deck with the rest of his crewmates. The winds batter the tugboat, but in some miracle, everyone on board survives. An anemometer on board recorded a wind gust of 121 miles per hour as the boat narrowly avoided being destroyed. To the north, another crewmate, Keith Fowler, also filmed a large tornado approaching. To the south, a different tugboat is capturing something else because the tornado is so close. The boat's onboard radar, typically used for navigation, is actually scanning the tornado's funnel. The radar scan shows an incredible spiral of rain circling the vortex, with a defined eye at the center. This is the exact moment the tornado is now crossing into Tennessee, officially making the tornado a tri-state tornado, one of only a few tornadoes to ever achieve this feat in recorded history. The tornado crosses the meandering river, jumping between Missouri and Tennessee until it makes landfall on the Tennessee side of the river after 8 whole miles of travel, beelining straight for the south edge of Campbell's Point, a town south of Tiptonville. Another disaster is coming into fruition. The tornado scrapes the south edge of town, with its wind field ripping roofs and injuring multiple people. But for the people staying at the large Blue Ridge hunting resort, the tornado does anything but scrape it. Jamie Antonio Hall, brother-in-law Steve Gunn, and Steve's son Grayson are in a group of 8 people who have traveled from Florida to the resort for a duck hunting trip. As night arrives, the 3 of them return to the top floor of their hotel to get some sleep. The rest of the family goes to stay in the resort's clubhouse. But as the tornado approaches, those in the clubhouse are able to rush into a bathroom stall in the bottom floor. As the tornado sweeps through the resort, the clubhouse is demolished, with only the bathroom stall that the 5 people are sheltering in standing. At the resort, the 3 men are oblivious to the danger until they're awoken by the sound of the roof giving way. In just seconds, the hotel is gutted, whilst nearby trees are debarked and reduced to stubs. The cabin that Jamie, Steve, and Grayson are in feels the worst of the impact. The entire top story is shredded away. All 3 men would be found deceased in the rubble. The tornado is now growing smaller, but that doesn't stop the now record-breaking path length. It crosses the Blue Basin Lake into Samsburg. On the south side of town, many poorly constructed homes collapse, with some reduced to nothing. In one home, 72-year-old Danny Inman Sr. does not make it as his home collapses onto him. The tornado moves into the heart of Samsburg, where the fire department is struck. A group of firefighters are pinned under debris as the structure collapses around them, rendering them unable to respond to victims in Samsburg and in the Blue Ridge Resort. The police department and City Hall are also severely damaged, along with 25% of all buildings in the town. Miraculously, no one else dies in town. Barely 2 miles after the tornado exited Samsburg, the tornado suddenly weakens and dies. The monster is done, but the impacts are not. While somehow narrowly missing the center of over 7 communities, 9 lives had been lost, and hundreds of structures had been destroyed. Being the lesser-known sibling of the subsequent Mayfield tornado, many of the homes and people affected by the tornado never got the attention or aid that they really needed.
Number 5.
Number 10. This is a case of extreme paranormal activity caught on camera. This man lives with many strange happenings around him all the time, so he decided to capture much of it on video as proof of what it is going on in his apartment. He lives with his girlfriend in a small apartment in Tokyo and doesn't have any idea why it's happening to him. They think she is an angry female spirit, look for the revenge, or is unaware that she is dead. Perhaps she used to live in the building in the past and died in a way that prevented her from moving on. So, she wants revenge by tormenting anyone who lives there.
Number 4.
Number 9. This couple were about to go on a night out when something very strange happened. While inside the car, everyone is happy and talking, not aware about what is about to come at them. We see what looks like a person standing in the middle of the road. He doesn't notice it and continues driving forward until he hits it. They stop and come out to see it. What is that hiding below the car? It looks like a human face looking up at the camera. In Japan, there exists being called yokai. Many think encounters like these are when normal people and yokai cross paths.
Number 3. The Sky Creature. This footage was reportedly taken on a flight somewhere over Zambia. A person is casually recording out their window when a giant humanoid creature starts to materialize in the distance. The creature seems to keep pace and ride alongside them for a moment before disengaging and twisting away. The obvious answer to this is CGI. If it's not CGI, however, then what this creature could be is anyone's guess. Number 2. The Beijing sighting. This footage supposedly comes from the capital of China, where a massive, slow-moving creature makes its way across the polluted city landscape. It's hard to tell how many legs this giant creature has, or what its overall intentions are. It doesn't seem to be that aggressive, but the ground shakes under its gigantic steps, and army helicopters circle above, obviously ready. According to the uploader, this footage was suppressed by the Chinese government, who has a tight grip on all forms of news and social media. This could very likely be CGI, but if it's real, then there is no information as to how this situation was ultimately resolved. Number 1.
Number 8. A family of 4 lost their home to a fire. Investigators recorded video of the remains of the structure of the home when they went back to inspect it and tried to discover the cause of the incident. The camera, however, captured something very unsettling. There in the rubble, we see a ghost human shape. If you listen closely, we hear crying as it comes walking towards the camera. Do you think that this is the ghost of one of the tragic residents?